How are you holding up these days? Every workday, this question gets asked of me by multiple patients. A simple question, but how does one answer that question these days? Do I say that some nights I go to bed exhausted at the conclusion of the day? I'm continually worn down by the enormity of life during these times? Do I share that I find myself dragged into despair after perusing social media and realizing too late the toxic effects it has on me? The reality is, it is so easy for me to get caught up in the trials of life with COVID-19. I could yell and scream that my children are embarking on this school year virtually. It is true that I do fear the next correction of my child's behavior will be the final thing that unleashes a deluge of emotions from them. I could easily expand on the sense of loss that can overtake me. I'm geographically distant from my sisters and my parents, and COVID will prevent us from seeing each other anytime soon. We have had to reschedule life events, vacations, baseball seasons, and kids' activities. I could easily answer the question with a resounding, "I am terrible." And that might be right. But I don't. It's not that I'm being disingenuous with my words. I am just trying to alter my perspective. When COVID forced the closure of my practice in March, of course I was leery of the secondary effects of said closure. I had no idea how long we would be closed or how many emergency patients I would have to see by myself. I had no control over those aspects of life. And in the absence of control, I had to stop, breathe, and think. What do I really have control over? I was home for 9 weeks with my children. 9 weeks with my children. What a gift. I had never had that much time with my kids continuously since they were born. I was able to stop all the extras in life and focus with my wife on our children. I could have been lost in lamentations about our losses, but I tried so hard to change my perspective. I do know people who have lost dear loved ones from this virus. I do not share that experience, nor could I even begin to guess where to start with dealing with it. I could not imagine the pain that people have had to endure while maintaining social distance. I know people who have lost their employment and their livelihood. And while my job looks a bit different, I'm able to continue working as before. I know people scrambling for childcare while struggling to maintain a full-time job. I have had an amazing mother-in-law who's relishing that she gets to see our children every day for virtual school. How fortunate am I? So how are you holding up these days? It's easy to get lost in the bitterness of these days and answer with an honest answer focused on the loss. I could answer based on all the things that I cannot control or affect. Instead, I choose to do as Reverend Jill Duffield would instruct, to take my hands and give those things back to God. I have no control on the schools reopening, on the rate of research for vaccination, or even my neighbor's Facebook feed. I cannot change or affect those aspects of the current world. However, the second part of the prayer from Jill is to turn one's hands and receive help with those areas I can control or have change. I do have control on my response to the myriad of calamities in life. I can reflect on the blessings of this time and the opportunities I have. I need the strength of prayer to help keep my perspective and to stay grounded. My family has been inconvenienced by this pandemic, but I know others far more affected. I am keeping those people in my prayers. I'm having to constantly remember I have so little control on many things in life, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So the next time I'm asked, how are you holding up these days? I will honestly say, I am well. And I just have to remember which way to turn my hands.